Boss TV, where inspiration strikes.
Right, good morning from whatever part of the country you are watching us from. It's the third day of March. It happens to be on a Thursday, 2022. We are just 158 days into the general election, and so much is already happening in relation to that as well. There has been quite a number of political happenings in the country, talking about the campaign period. Yesterday, the Azimio la Umoja pitched camp at Nakuru County, whereas the Kenya Kwanza, led by Kisii leaders and also Moses Wetangula, were at Kisii County, drumming up support for William Ruto and the entire Kenya Kwanza brigade in relation to who is going to make it on the topmost seat come 2022. While all this is happening in the country as well, Deputy President William Ruto is in the United States of America, and of course he is entering day 3 of his 12-day tour on talking about how he seeks to become president, and also various issues that he is discussing with voters in diaspora. And yesterday he spoke about quite a sensitive matter that pertains to the rigging claims of election, and he had to also explain more concerning his bottom-up economic model and how he seeks to bring a change in terms of economic revival. That is also what is making headline this morning. I'll be just explaining to you more on that as we get along with the show. But this morning as well, being on a Thursday, we have quite a conversation that we are looking forward also to have, quite candid one. And the biggest question we're asking this morning: should churches in Kenya be regulated? You know, there has been claims that churches in Kenya seem not to be right in terms of how they operationalize some of the activities, and no, there has been also claims that the churches are involved in matters about getting money from politicians, dirty money from politicians, and also there has been a lot in relation to the money at which they collect. And this conversation about having to regulate and, you know, look into matters about the church has been there, and today we want to understand, is it high time that we should regulate churches? That is what we are asking, and we'll be speaking to Reverend Francis Waite, that is a man of God, and will be here in his capacity as a church leader to explain more concerning this topic, and some also of the few questions that Kenyans have in relation to the churches in Kenya. And also talking about churches, they do have a very vital role to play in our politics, and how we should also be speaking about peace, unity, and harmony. And we also look into whether if they've played that role effectively enough or not. And that is a conversation that will be coming your way at exactly 8 a.m. Eastern African time. You can be sure to wait for that conversation. Once I'm done by looking at what is making headlines, you can be sure I'll be talking about that conversation with Pastor Reverend Francis Waite. He will be joining me in studio in his capacity as a man of God, and also he will be talking more concerning all the details coming out from our churches in the country. So you can be sure to catch that conversation on our mainstream TV station, that is Boss TV. And for those of you who are not so close to your TV sets, you can check us online on Facebook and YouTube. We are live. You can check us out and do understand what we are doing, and do understand what we are talking about. And that is what we are discussing this morning. But right now, though, I want to go straight into the what is making headlines, and I want to begin from the Standard, right? I want to start from the Standard, and that is what is making headline this morning. I want to begin from the Standard. The curse of coalition deals is what is making headline this morning on the front page of the Standard. The curse over the coalition deals, and we're told that Kalonzo has opened a Pandora box with his claim that Raila Odinga has betrayed a power deal they signed in 2017. But such betrayal is not new. Every election cycle comes with a long list of dishonored MOUs. And that is a story on page 6 of the Standard, which talks about how different politicians and leaders have come together to create MOUs, and at long last, some have said to have been betrayed, and the recent one comes from whatever Kalonzo Musyoka just recently said in relation to how Raila Odinga failed to honor his MOU that they signed in 2017 that said that Raila Odinga would support Kalonzo Musyoka for the presidency in 2022, but that did not happen. And what is being spoken is that Kalonzo Musyoka has given a raft of ultimatums in relation to supporting Azimio la Umoja and getting into Raila's camp if he, Raila Odinga, will support Kalonzo Musyoka's presidential bid. So that is what is making headline this morning on page 1 of the Standard, and it's quite explained on page 6 of the same newspaper, and that is what you can find out on that. I'll be giving you details once I get to that point. But also, on the same newspaper, there is something that is very vital, like I mentioned, that the Deputy President William Ruto, who is in the United States, has expressed optimism that the August 9th election will be free and fair. And he was speaking yesterday at Loyola University in Maryland, the United States, where he said that attempts by the state to rig election will be defeated because Kenyan constitution is progressive and it's a democracy robust. And that is what is on page 8 over the Standard this morning. You can check that out, and you can read more of whatever is explained there on the Standard page 8. And I want to play for you a clip on how Deputy President William Ruto was responding to some of the questions. And in relation to this question of whether if the election will be rigged, it was asked by one of Kenyan voters in the United States. And this is what the Deputy President had to respond about the rigging claims. Let's listen in.
2007, 2008.
Thank you. Yes.
Hello. My name is Honorable Simon Mbogwa, but my votes did not meet to standard. I know the politicians here understand what I'm saying. I'm from Nakuru County. I'm privileged my senator is there. And Your Excellency, I have this question. My question is mainly, are we going to vote the people of diaspora? And again, I need you to give me an assurance, because I know we are going to win this election because I'm a UDA member. I need you to give me an assurance that I heard the other time Honorable Sabina Chege saying that they will do something, stealing the votes. I will be so bitter when I'm working so hard bringing people from Pennsylvania to Washington to register as voters, and then at the end of the day, they come to steal our votes. So I just need your assurance, sir, that nobody is going to steal our votes, and you're going to work on that. Thank you so much.
On your first question, yes. There is provision, and I think there are states and countries, and they keep increasing. The capacity of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is being built so that we can have more Kenyans in the diaspora voting. There will be opportunity for people in America to vote. I wish we could make it a lot more easier for them to vote. And I think progressively and going into the future, hopefully, when we form government in August, we will have a diaspora ministry that can actually look into the issues of diaspora, their concerns, their voting rights, and all that. So, yes, there will be opportunity for people in the diaspora to vote, not to the extent that everybody will, because it is limited by capacity and by extent to which that can happen, and I think not city. On your second item as to whether the vote will be stolen, it's part of that recklessness that I was talking to. the recklessness in, because you remember the events of 2007, 2008 were premised on a stolen election. And we keep, hearing this stolen election narrative. And what we are asking is that every candidate in this election must commit that they will accept the outcome of the election. And if they query the outcome of the election, it should be using constitutionally stipulated mechanisms and not pushing people to war. Unfortunately, some of the candidates have never committed themselves to accept the outcome of an election, whatever election. But I hope this year we should be able to push them to that level. And finally, is to say that I am very confident from where I sit that no election will be stolen.
Thank you. We have a question over here.
Thank you very much. My name is Karan.
Right, that is what Deputy President William Ruto was saying in relation to matters of election in the country, and it has spurred a lot of conversation in relation to how Kenyans have perceived that, and also other leaders have had to comment about how the Deputy President is speaking on matters about election. You can find that on page 8 of the Standard, and you can explain and read to understand more of that. But also, with that aside, also the Deputy President is still in the United States, and yesterday he made his way at Loyola University in Maryland in the United States to speak about a number of issues, and he also had to take time to discuss on his agenda to become president, and he was speaking to some of the policies makers who were asking questions to him, and he offered answers. And also, we now want to play for a clip for you to see how the Deputy President was speaking about his economic model, bottom up, and how he was explaining that to the diaspora, so as he can also get people to understand how he seeks to begin reviving the economy from the bottom all the way to the up. Let's listen in, and this is what he had to say.
Biggest issue that is on the ballot is the democracy of our nation, and whether we truly have the opportunity to make free choices devoid of blackmail, threats, and intimidation. That's a matter that is on the ballot, and that's a matter that many Kenyans, in fact, if you understand a bit of Kiswahili, that's what informs the current push by many Kenyans to say hatupangwingwi, meaning we want to make our choices without being choreographed or chaperoned or blackmailed or intimidated. We are also going to be making choices about our economy and the democratization of our economy. There is a feeling that our economy has been captured and curtailed and brokered and become exclusionist. And that's why our push is that we must democratize our economy, make it inclusive, bring everybody on board, and ensure that nobody is left behind. We are looking forward to the partnership of friends and people of goodwill, and America has always been a partner and a friend, and has stood with us during the good and the bad times. always in Kenya. And together with other members of the international community, we are looking forward to working together in that endeavor.
Right, that is what the Deputy President William Ruto was speaking in the United States about improving the economy. He is in the United States for a 12-day tour. Once he's done with the United States, he'll be headed to the UK. Then he will be finishing up at Qatar in Dubai, and also that is what is happening. And you can find all those stories on the pages of the Standard. But I want to take you straight to page 7, where there is also very interesting news in relation to the campaign trail that is happening. And on the Kivumbi 2022, Raila says here, my vision on economy, private sector. And yesterday, we saw Raila Odinga, that is the ODM leader, Raila Odinga, with officials of Kenya Private Sector Alliances, and they had a meeting, quite a fruitful one. And he says that he has quite a vision to see the country empower the private sector and make the sector turn Kenya into a trading nation. And he was speaking yesterday during a meeting in Nairobi, and that is the first article on page 7. But out from that as well, once he was done with that meeting, he was on the campaign trail tour of Nakuru County, making inroads within some of the areas of Nakuru, including Molo and also Njoro. And the ODM leader says he will make town center of peace and growth. And he was speaking when he toured Nakuru County, addressing residents about his agenda also when he became president. And he emphasized more about improvement of agriculture, simply because there has been a lot of farming being done in Nakuru. And he also said that he will go ahead and revive some of the industries that will assist in the farming to bring more money. And also he spoke about the Baba Care and issues about also the social program of the 6,000 for every single unemployed Kenyan in the country. So this is what the former Prime Minister, that is Raila Odinga, said during his tour of Nakuru yesterday. Take a look.
Mambo ya biashara ya bao tutafufusha. Bao ikiwa kama ile miti imekomaa, inakatwa, nyingine inapandwa, sio? Sivyo? Nataka mkae kimya kidogo kwanza. Kaeni kimya kwanza. Nataka mkae kimya. Hello? Nataka mkae kimya, wengine wasikie yale mimi nasema. Hiyo biashara tutafufusha, sawa? Hata kama tunaenda kwa debe, nitamwambia Uhuru afungulie watu msitu waingie huko. Waanze kukata msitu. Sawa sawa. Nimesema vile vile tutarudisha bei ya mbolea chini kutoka 6,000 mpaka 2,000. Serikali itafanya subsidy ili wakulima wapate afueni, waweze kupata riziki yao kulingana na jasho yao, sawa? Tunajenga kiwanda ya kusafisha na kuhifadhi mboga na hata ile viazi ambayo inatoka mashamba yenu, sawa sawa? Na kutafuta soko mzuri. Hayo tutafanya. Halafu tumesema vile vile kwa upande ya elimu, watoto wetu wote, hata kama wale wazazi wao hawana pesa, watapata fursa sawa kwa upande elimu, kuanzia nursery, primary, secondary, tertiary mpaka chuo kikuu, sawa sawa? Kwa elimu. Na kumaliza elimu, baada ya kusoma sawa sawa, watapata kazi wa maana. Kazi wa maana pale ambao wanaweza kupata riziki, kuinua hali yao ya kimaisha. Sio kazi ya kusukuma wheelbarrow. Mnataka wheelbarrow? Mnakataa wheelbarrow? Wangapi mmekataa wheelbarrow? Nione kwa mkono wenu. Sawa? Wale ambao wanataka kuanza biashara yao wenyewe, watapata mkopo kutoka kwa hazina ya serikali na walipi chochote mpaka baada ya miaka 7.
Right, that is the former Prime Minister and the leader of ODM party making inroads in Nakuru County, and he was on the campaign trail speaking about how he seeks to, what he seeks to do when he become president, and that is what you can find also on page 7 of the Standard this morning. You can read more of that to get updated as well. Remember, ours is to just touch a little bit concerning these articles, and it's up to you now to find and grab your copy at your own convenient time and read to understand. Now, I want to go straight to the Daily Nation. Allow me to look at what is making headline in the Daily Nation before we proceed here. And remember also, as we continue with updating you on the news, you can share your thoughts about some of the articles and some of the headlines. Below your screen, there's quite a number there. You can check it out and share your thoughts concerning the same. And you can also drop your comments on the comment section on either Facebook or YouTube. And we'll be so glad to hear from you. And we will as well as read some of your comments as we get along. But looking at the front page of the Daily Nation, I believe my director has put that up for you to see what is making headline this morning on the Daily Nation. And on the front page of the Daily Nation, it talks about revealed the fixing of Kalonzo Musyoka. Revealed the fixing of Kalonzo Musyoka. And the biggest question being asked there on top, as you can see, will he stand his ground or will he capitulate? That is the question. And the Wiper leader is in the Catch 2022 situation that poignantly echoes his tribulation a decade ago during the last presidential transition. The question he is grappling with now is just how he boxed himself into the unavailable position where he is once again negotiating with coalition partners who have apparently placed the two biggest political prizes out of reach, and that is what is making headline on page 4 and 5 of the Daily Nation in relation to whatever is happening within the One Kenya Alliance, within the Azimio, and also which way for Wiper leader. And remember also the Wiper party had chose to, try and give out new ultimatums, if I may use that word, to the Azimio side. If they want to join them, then he should come on board. That is, Raila Odinga should come on board and support Kalonzo Musyoka. But that was not so taken lightly by some of the allies of Raila Odinga, who have also mentioned and poked holes in the Kalonzo's revelations. And that is quite a developing matter also in the country. We will see how it's going to pan out and give you details as they transpire. But for now, though, you can grab your copy and check that article on page 4 and 5 of the Daily Nation. On top of the Daily Nation still, if my director can zoom that for you to see, there's a story that talks about fury over Ruto's voting leaking claims. And that is a clip that I just played for you earlier, where that is William Ruto, the Deputy President. William Ruto was speaking in Maryland in the United States, and where he was accompanied by UDA leaders, saying that different government agencies are trying to manipulate the electioneering process, and appeals to the global community to intervene, prompting furious reaction from his rival back at home, including allies of the main opponent, that is Raila Odinga, who claim he has sensed defeat and is now laying the ground to reject the outcome of the presidential vote. And that is what is making headline on page 6 of the Daily Nation. Now, while also the Deputy President William Ruto is in the United States, his allies, and led by Moses Wetangula, were in Kisii County yesterday, drumming up support for his candidature and also drumming up support for the entire Kenya Kwanza. And they were speaking about a number of issues, also taking up sides and saying and castigating President Uhuru Kenyatta for having backed Raila Odinga. And also they also took time to woo Kalonzo Musyoka to come on board and join Kenya Kwanza so as they can spear up the wheel of the politics in the country. So let's listen in to whatever Moses Wetangula said in absence of Deputy President William Ruto, and Moses Wetangula here was speaking in Kisii County. Let's listen in.
Wakenya wameamua kwamba hawataki kubeba mzigo. Mimi nimebeba mzigo wa Raila 2013. Nimebeba mzigo wa Raila 2017. Let me tell you young men, huo mzigo ni mzito. Haubebeki. Na Uhuru atashindwa vile sisi tulishindwa. Na waende pamoja. If President Uhuru valued the advice we are giving him, Mr. President, retire peacefully and go home. Raila Odinga, retire with your handshake partner and go home. Ili Wakenya wapate nafasi yao ya kuchagua. Kwa nini nasema hivyo? Kwa sababu huwezi kuendelea kudanganya kila mtu kisiasa. Leo unatapeli Weta, kesho unatapeli Kindiki, kesho yake unatapeli Mudavadi, kesho yake unatapeli Kalonzo. My brother Kalonzo, you and I have known each other for long, worked together. We like each other so much politically and socially. I want to urge you, don't lament about what that man has done to you, because you are not the first and certainly you are not the last. Ataendelea kuwatapeli watu. Wewe kuja tutembee pamoja, tuunde serikali ya Kenya kwanza, tubadilishe nchi yetu. Wakenya wameamua kwamba hawataki kubeba mzigo. Mimi nimebeba mzigo wa Raila 2013. Nimebeba mzigo wa Raila 2017. Let me tell you young men, huo mzigo ni mzito. Haubebeki. Na Uhuru atashindwa.
Right, that is Kenya Kwanza Brigade led by Moses Wetangula, the Bungoma senator there, speaking in Kisii County on the campaign trail. And that is also one interesting matter. And below page 1 still on the Daily Nation, remember that story, you can find it on the Daily Nation. And below page 1 of the Daily Nation, state to go on borrowing spree as MPs raise debt ceiling. And you're told that the current debt ceiling that was enacted by the parliament is 9 trillion. But even though we have quite a huge debt in the country, we are told that the government will still go on borrowing. And this is likely to even make more Kenyans to dig deeper into their pockets to finance some of these loans being taken up by the government. And that is what is playing out on page, the back page, of the Daily Nation. And remember also our members of parliament, especially those who are allied to Deputy President William Ruto, have time and again taken up with the government over its borrowing, particularly also mentioning how the ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi has been so much vocal with the issue of economy and how we are not doing so well in terms of the economy in relation to how we are borrowing a huge amount of money. And what we can draw out from this article on the back page of the Daily Nation, it's that the current public debt in the country has hit 11 trillion rather, and that is supersedes or whatever was supposed to be there according to the debt ceiling of the 2019 that was passed and enacted by the parliament, that was supposed to be at 9 trillion, but currently we are at 11 trillion. So that is what is playing out on the back page of the Daily Nation. And now, this being a season of the national examination, the Daily Nation took time to do a story that pertains to why the success card culture is fading away. You remember maybe during your time and my time as well, there are those candidates who used to sit for national examination would have gotten, success cards from their family members, loved ones. But as candidates this year now, seeming to sit for exam, it says here that success card is a culture that is slowly fading away, and they are asking reasons as to why and what needs to be done also to make sure that that culture keeps on going on, as we also wish the best of luck for our students. And that is what is in relation to the national examination, and you can find that out on page 30, not page 39 rather. You can find that out on page 2 and 3 of the Daily Nation. And also yesterday we did another story that pertains to matters of education, where the Education Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha, has assured Kenyans that the new CBC curriculum, as well as the examinations that are set to begin next week, will not be affected in any way by the current political heat being witnessed in the country. And Magoha said that the examinations are already ready and things will go as planned. And also he did mention about the issue of the CBC transition post-election, and he said that the construction of new classrooms is underway and its completion is nearly to be done. And he was speaking, and this was a story that we did yesterday. I want to play for you that clip to see how the education CS spoke in relation to all those matters within the education sector. Let's listen in.
The new CBC curriculum has faced many challenges, especially opposition from various stakeholders, with many highlighting the existence of adequate classrooms where students will continue their studies as well as progress from one classroom to another. Education Minister Professor George Magoha has maintained that the CBC curriculum will continue in the country, now adding that the classrooms will be soon available, adding that in terms of completing classrooms, Meru County is leading.
That all the books have been delivered to all schools in preparation for grade 6 in May. In terms of the teachers were trained early in December. In terms of the assessments that shall be done for them, the assessments are ready.
Speaking at the launch of kindergarten classes in Murang'a County, Magoha added that the development of education in the country will not be affected by the politics witnessed.
The fact that there is going to be a transition in government does not matter. The fact that me and my team shall not be there does not really matter. The children are very well taken care of as per the Constitution.
While the KCPE and KCSE examinations are expected to begin in the country, Minister Magoha has assured the candidates who are in the areas experiencing insecurity that his ministry will ensure their safety.
In prone areas, the government has taken firm action to ensure that every child will have an exam administered to him or her at the appropriate time with the utmost security that the government of the Republic of Kenya can give.
This is happening as the Commissioner in the Eastern Region, Ivan Sachoki, saying that the safety of all candidates in the country has been given priority.
Kusambaza na kuhakikisha kwamba mitihani imefanyika kwa mazingira inayofaa. Tumejiandaa vilivyo, tutahakikisha kwamba tuko na security ya kutosha kila sehemu ya region yetu ya Eastern.
The assurance of Education Minister Professor George Magoha and Commissioner Ivan Sachoki comes at the time with various parts of the country, including Isiolo, Marsabit, Garissa and Laikipia, experiencing insecurity. Reporting for Boss TV News, my name is Miriam Diti.
Right, now I think I'm done by looking at what is making headline on the Daily Nation, and that was the last article in relation to matters of education, examinations and success cards. You can find that on page 2 and 3 of the Daily Nation. And from us here, especially the program that is Good Morning Boss and the entire Boss TV, would like to take this opportunity to wish all the candidates for this year's exam, that is a KCPE and the KCSE examination candidates, all the best. And you take time, you know, you've studied, and it's high time now to show us what you do best. And you know, stop panicking rather. And it's a normal exam. Just take it the way it is, and you can do better, and you can perform, and you can pass your exam. Best wishes from us. And remember, we will also look forward to announcing some of the big names that have passed once the election, not the election, rather, once the examination are out. And now from the Daily Nation, we were going to go straight into the Taifa Leo. If my director can put for you the Taifa Leo to see how things are happening also on the Taifa Leo. Remember, Taifa Leo, this is the Swahili newspaper that we are having in the country. And once I hold the newspaper that is the Taifa Leo, I must switch gears and speak some bit of Swahili as we wrap it up here. Na kwenye ukurasa wa mbele wa Taifa Leo, mpenzi mtazamaji, Pale tunaambiwa kwamba Ruto apaka Uhuru tope Marekani. Huyu ni naibu rais William Ruto ambaye ametumia ziara yake Marekani kumshambulia vikali rais Uhuru Kenyatta, huku akivumisha mpango wake wa bottom up anaodai utamaliza umaskini nchini. Daktari Ruto alikuwa akizungumza katika chuo kikuu cha Loyola katika mji wa Maryland, ambapo alidai rais amewatenga maskini na kunufaisha mabwenyenye, na alitaka nchi za magharibi kumsaidia kuchunga kura zake zisiibwe. Taarifa hiyo imo katika ukurasa wa pili wa Taifa Leo. Tukiachana na hayo, tunaambiwa pia vijembe dhidi ya Uhuru ambavyo naibu rais alikuwa anakivizungumzia vimo katika ukurasa huo wa kwanza katika upande wa kulia. Lakini kando na taarifa hiyo ni kwamba pia Wakenya wana imani na mfumo wa CBC. Hii ni kulingana na ripoti iliyokuwa utafiti iliyofanywa na idara ya masomo ya maendeleo, na kwenye ripoti yao wanasema kwamba Wakenya wameonyesha nia ya kuwa na imani na mfumo wa CBC, japo pia tuliweza kusikia kuwa kuna baadhi ya wanasiasa ambao wamezungumza kuhusiana na jinsi mtaala huo mpya huenda ukatatizwa na kusimamishwa endapo Wakenya na wazazi watatoana lalama zaidi. Lakini ni katika ukurasa wa pili ambapo taarifa hiyo imo, kwa hivyo unaweza kujitwalia nakala vile vile na ukajisomea kiundani zaidi. Na kwenye masuala lingine la hapa pwani, katika habari za pwani tofauti, tukianza kule Kwale, unaambiwa kwamba Achani atoa ahadi ya kuimarisha elimu akishinda ugavana. Na huyu ni naibu gavana wa kaunti ya Kwale ambaye pia ni mgombea wa ugavana wa kaunti hiyo ya Kwale, Bi Fatuma Achani ameahidi kuendeleza ustawishaji wa sekta ya elimu iwapo atashinda kiti cha ugavana katika uchaguzi ujao. Alikuwa akihutubu katika eneo la Gombani. Taarifa nyingine ni kwamba watu 8 washindwa kudhibiti koti, walifutwa kikabila. Hawa ni watu 8 ambao walikuwa wamepeleka kesi mahakamani katika kaunti ya Tana River kusema kwamba walikuwa wamefutwa kazi kikabila, lakini walishindwa kudhibitisha hilo. Kwa hivyo limo katika ukurasa wa 4 wa Taifa Leo. Alafu unaambiwa kwamba kwenye taarifa nyingine kwenye siasa, haswa katika kaunti ya Kilifi, ni kwamba gavana wa Kilifi Bwana Amason Kingi ambaye pia ni kiongozi wa chama cha Pamoja African Alliance ambacho kinafahamika kama PA, ameanza michakato ya kupigia debe kiongozi wa chama cha ODM Raila Odinga kuwa mgombea urais, na akisema kwamba chama hicho cha PA kitashirikiana na mfumo ama mrengo ule wa Azimio katika kuzungumza pia masuala ya wapwani. Lakini pia aliweza kusisitiza kuwa chama hicho cha PA ni miongoni mwa vyama ambavyo vitakuwa mstari wa mbele katika kupigania maslahi ya wapwani. Hebu tumsikize kidogo Bwana Jeff Kingi ambaye ni gavana wa Kilifi alichokizungumza kuhusiana na mwelekeo wa chama chake cha PA.
Na wakati vyama hivi vinaenda katika jambo lile ambalo linaitwa Azimio la Umoja, kila mtu anaenda na matakwa yake, na usipoleta matakwa yako katika jamvi la Azimio la Umoja, ole wako chako hakiko katika Azimio la Umoja. Na jamvi la Azimio la Umoja haliendi mtu binafsi. Jamvi la Azimio la Umoja linaenda vyama vya kisiasa. Hata nikaenda sana mimi kwa Azimio la Umoja, lakini kale sina chama, sina vuguvugu yangu. Maanake ni vyama kutoka pande zote vinaingia katika mavuli mmoja. Upande wa Central wanaingia mavuli wa Azimio la Umoja kupitia chama cha Jubilee. Upande wa Northeastern, mkoa wa Mashariki, mkoa wa Magharibi, Rift Valley, wanakuja katika katika Azimio kupitia vyombo tofauti. Northeastern wanakuja kupitia chombo kinaitwa Upya Movement ndani ya Azimio. Upande wa Western Kubaloyani wanaingia Azimio la Umoja kupitia chama kinaitwa DAPK.
Huyo ni gavana wa Kilifi na kiongozi wa chama cha PA akizungumza kuhusiana na kwa nini anaunga mkono Azimio, akisema kwamba PA imo ndani ya Azimio katika kusukuma ajenda za wapwani bila shaka. Na mwisho kabisa pale katika ukurasa wa mwisho ni kuhusiana na masuala ya kispoti, na kuna baadhi ya taarifa nyingi za spoti ambazo zimo pale. Kumbuka siwezi pitia zote, lakini kuna moja ambayo lazima niitaje, manake imehusiana karibu na masuala yanayofanyika hapa katika kaunti za Pwani, hususan na Mtwapa pale ambapo wanasoka wa Mtwapa Sekondari moto balaa ligi ya Mtwapa Premier kiendelea, na ni katika ukurasa huo wa 18. Lakini pia kuna taarifa nyingine ambayo iliweza kufanyika jana, inahusiana pia na masuala ya mashindano ya roboti ambayo yalifanyika katika bustani ya Mama Ngina Waterfront, ambapo mfumo wa mashindano ya kwanza ya roboti kaunti ya Mombasa yamefanyika katika bustani ya Mama Ngina, ambapo shule 30 ziliweza kuhudhuria na kushindana, na madhumuni ya mashindano hayo ilikuwa ni kukuza talanta kwa wanafunzi, huku shule ya chekechea ya Utange wakiibuka washindi. Mwanahabari wetu Njeri Masi alikuwemo katika mashindano hayo kwa siku ya jana na aliweza kuandalia taarifa hii. Hebu itazame.
Finali za mfumo wa roboti kaunti ya Mombasa zimefanyika leo hii kwenye uwanja wa Mama Ngina Waterfront, huku shule ya Utange wakishinda tunzo ya jumla.
The overall winner of the first Mombasa County Robotics Competition is Utange.
Akizungumza wakati wa kazi za maadhimisho ya kwanza, afisa wa teknolojia katika kaunti ya Mombasa amesema kuwa shindano hili lilianza kwa lengo la kutathmini athari za mpango huo kwa watoto wa chekechea.
What we did for the purpose of assessing the impact of the program, we decided to start competition. The competition started with interclasses on 8th until 11th of February, and then after that the main aim was actually to pick the basics from each school.
Aidha, ameeleza kuwa lengo la muda mrefu ni kufanya kaunti ya Mombasa kuwa kitovu cha teknolojia kwa kuwezesha watoto wachanga katika mambo ya teknolojia.
The reason why we launched this program is actually to prepare Mombasa as a technology hub. We county government have a vision to make Mombasa as a technology hub. So the best way to start with it is actually to prepare kids, especially.
Mwangi Gishuhe ambaye ni mkurugenzi wa masomo ya chekechea na maktaba katika kaunti ya Mombasa ameeleza kuwa mpango huo umeonyesha juhudi na mafanikio.
When we are celebrating the work that we started a year ago, after the launch that was done in February last year by His Excellency, the Governor in Pakistan, we have taken our teachers and all the children through the trainings of robotics. And through this program, we have realized a lot of gains. One, the robotics program is in line with the competency-based curriculum.
Wazazi waliohudhuria nao hawakuachwa nyuma katika kusherekea hatua za kiteknolojia zilizofanywa na watoto wao, huku wakitoa shukrani kwa kaunti ya Mombasa kwa kuleta mfumo huo.
Niko hapa kwa ajili ya kuleta mtoto wangu kwa competition za robotic. Mimi kama mzazi nafurahia sana kuona hili jambo ambao kiongozi wetu ambao ameileta Mombasa. Na zaidi ya yote tu hata sisi wazazi wa government schools ametupea kipaumbele kwa watoto wetu wakapate pia kueneza talanta zao. Ninafurahia sana kuona mtoto wangu anaweza kutengeneza kitu kama ile na anaweza pia hata kuicontrol. Imenifurahisha sana kama mzazi.
Njeri Masi, runinga ya Boss, Mombasa.
Thank you very much. Kwa kutuanzia siku kwa furaha ushindi. Ushindi unaenda kwa wazazi na watoto na walimu.
Naam, bila shaka ni mashindano hayo ya roboti ndiyo yanatufungia awamu ya kwanza uchambuzi wa magazeti. Kumbuka awamu ya kwanza kawaida lazima tuangazie yaliyomo kwenye gazeti na pia baadhi ya taarifa ambazo ziligonga vichwa vya habari, na pia kutokana na baadhi ya hizi taarifa kuwa chipukizi tutaweza kukufuatizia kwa ukaribu na kukujuza kwenye msururu wa taarifa zetu hapo baadaye pamoja na vipindi vyetu hapo baadaye. Lakini kwa sasa nachukua mapumziko mafupi kwa haraka sana hapa, na nitakapokuwa narejea itakuwa naingia kwenye sehemu ya pili ya mazungumzo yetu. Mjadala wetu siku ya leo unahusiana na masuala ya makanisa na masuala pia yanayofanyika. Je, umefikia wakati ambapo kidogo serikali inatakana kujukumika katika kudhibiti baadhi ya miondoko ya makanisa? Ndilo swali ambalo tutakuwa tunamuuliza mgeni wangu ndani ya studio, ambaye si mwingine bali ni Reverend Francis Waite, mtumishi wa Mungu, na anakuja hapa yeye kama kiongozi wa kanisa kuzungumzia kuhusiana hiyo mada, na pia pamoja na maswali yenu ambayo mtakuwa mnayatuma ili aweze kuyajibu. Kwa hivyo mpenzi mtazamaji, usiende mbali, tutakuwa tunarudi muda usiokuwa mrefu.